What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome back into the Quick Pitch MLB DFS podcast and live stream recording here for Monday's 7-game main slate kicking off at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. James, the regular season for the MLB is winding down. A couple more weeks here of regular season MLB DFS, and then we get into the playoff DFS content that we do over on site as well. But still, more important games to be played, and we have a pretty good slate on our hands today. 7 games. We like to call this the wheelhouse.
This is definitely the wheelhouse. 7 games, kicking off at 6:40 today, John.
Yeah.
So a little earlier than normal. That goes for DraftKings and FanDuel, so they're on the same page there, finishing each other's sandwiches, which is nice to see. It is a core slate, so we got to keep that in mind. San Francisco traveling to Coors, so not the most sexy game we have in Coors. Jacob Junis and Chad Kuhl are the 2 pitchers, not great, but should be plenty of offense there. But yeah, fun slate. We get Max Scherzer off the IL. We get Corbin Burns opposing him. We get Kershaw coming off another dominant outing. So this should be a fun slate and one we're both going to be looking forward to.
Yeah, let's get into it. 7 games here. You mentioned the top pitchers there, Scherzer, Burns, and Kershaw. Kershaw gets probably the best matchup going up against Arizona. I think a lot of people will go there, likely the chalk monster, I would say. If you had to pick the 3, you have Scherzer coming off of the IL. You can certainly test that out. We know Milwaukee's been susceptible to strikeouts this season, and Scherzer's kind of been a monster where you have to wonder, coming off the IL, how deep they're going to let him go. So a little bit reservations for me spending the 10-9. Corbin Burns, coming off an okay start. Good little run there, but has been knocked around a little bit of late. So more risk than anything, it seems like, in this spot for him against the Mets and a good hitter's place park in Milwaukee. So Kershaw for me is the number 1. I don't really have any interest in Rasmussen against Houston. I'm not sure about you.
No, I'm with you. I think Kershaw's the definitive number 1. We're just not going to get enough pitches out of Scherzer to pay off a near $11K salary. Burns is definitely in a tough matchup and hasn't been as dominant as he was last year, especially in the home run department. 22 home runs this year. We know the Mets have some powerful dudes. So yeah, I think Kershaw's number 1, and as good as Rasmussen has looked at times, I think it's an easy fade against the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the Astros this year. They've actually been a little bit better against righties. Rasmussen hasn't pitched them yet, so contrarian play. If you think he can shut him down like Rocket, no one's going to be there. We're just going to play Kershaw. And I was going to probably play Kyle Wright. Going up against Washington here. Again, some of the numbers for him, hasn't been as dominant in the strikeout department as we had seen him to begin the year. But still a team where he's going to be favored to win. Over 20 fantasy points in 3 of the last 5, 18 fantasy points last time out. Has faced Washington twice this season, has wins in both games. Again, strikeout numbers not great. Washington really hasn't struck out a ton early on this year. Strikeout numbers for them have been up a little bit more of late, so maybe there's a little more strikeout upside, but you're more so paying Kyle Wright's price today for the win equity that you're getting in him.
So, John, I thought I was going to agree on everything you just said.
Okay.
And as I looked through the numbers, I had to stop. I didn't take my glasses off, but I, in my brain, wiped them clean just to make sure I saw what I was seeing correctly. Washington Nationals in the month of September, the number 1 OPS against right-handed pitching, the number 1 WOBA against right-handed pitching, the number 1 average. They're hitting 301 against right-handed pitching during the month of September.
Who do we think is doing all of that damage for them? That's my question. Because their lineup hasn't been overly impressive.
Joey Meneses, Luis Garcia.
I guess Luke Voigt just doing damage.
Luke Voigt.
Hit 410 with an 1100 OPS.
Lane Thomas continues to hit. Lane Thomas has been incredible. That's Cesar Hernandez has been really good.
What's Atlanta's what's the spread on this game, or the run line on this game? That's what I want to know. So I still feel like Vegas is going to have them as like a minus 210 minimum favorite.
You're right, and I'm with you where I think they should. So it's way wider. Kyle Wright and the Braves are minus 340.
Yeah, so that, I mean, like I said, you're playing right for win equity, but
right.
if you think that they can pull it off,
Oakland did 2 starts ago, right? I was all over Kyle Wright. He was, I had Howard. I put him on Howard Bender's radar.
Yeah, right.
That obviously worked out extremely well for Howard. Shout out to you. And it didn't work out. Look, I'm not saying I'm stacking the Nationals, but I just find it extremely interesting that their number 1 average, number 1 OPS, number 1 WOBA against righties, with decent ISO and a 16% K rate. So, like, I don't know. Yeah. Like you said, biggest favorite on the board, probably going to be chalky. Could be something to look at the other direction.
Play for you if you're playing again today. If you want to stack against Kyle Wright, because we're in the mid tier, right? So I mean, Luis Garcia is a guy that we just really struggled to find consistency with. Mm-hmm. Some days he's lights out, other days he isn't. Going up against Tampa can be hit or miss there. Merrill Kelly against the Dodgers. Again, as good as Merrill Kelly has pitched here this season, 8.5 ERA and 4 starts against LA. Not really the great opportunity you want for him. There's 17 earned in 18 innings for Merrill Kelly against the Dodgers. Cabrera is super interesting because of the high strikeout upside. Chicago, of course, is a team that, it feels like whenever we decide to go against them, that they become a little pesky and they kind of like run up pitch counts on the pitches that we're using against them. But you can't argue the strikeout potential that Edward Cabrera brings to the table. He's faced the Cubs once. He tossed 5 no-hit innings in that game, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. So, good numbers for him going there. And again, like his recent run, like they're fine. He just walks so many players, hitters, that the pitch count gets up there. Is Miami a favorite to win today by chance?
Yep, minus 140 at home.
So I mean that could potentially play in his favor if he can go 5 innings, give you 7 strikeouts, and get a win. Like he might give you what he did against Atlanta, where he gave you 19 fantasy points, right? Like that's probably a ceiling for him because he just can't control his stuff right now. But next year maybe if that guy can get the control down, like. Put him on a sleeper list or two.
Right.
Because there's some electric stuff there. Wade Miley is also pitching against them. Wade Miley does feels like he just shows up and is a professional pitcher, right?
Just a 9 to 5, dude.
Made 6 starts. He's got an under 3 ERA. He's almost a strikeout an inning. Walks aren't great for him. But again, this is a spot where if the numbers are still holding up, earlier this year, Miami against lefties was a go-to play.
Yep.
They had a 29% strikeout rate against left-handed pitching. So, where are we right now with this spot?
24% K rate against lefties in the month of September, which is still high. Like that's still, it's not as high, but it's still high. And they're bottom 5 in everything else: OPS, WOBA, and. Wade Miley's just out of here, just doing his job, just working construction, going home, clocking in the next day, doesn't miss work, So nothing wrong with a good construction worker in your lineup, and Wade Miley fits that bill.
Yeah, maybe pitch count, something to worry about. He's hit 80 twice the last couple of games. 75 pitches against San Francisco, got taken out of that one. 69.
Well, it looks like we're on the rise because he's only made 2 starts since coming back, so we should approach 80 here.
That's fair. Again, he's just a professional pitcher, 6,600 on a slate like this. You're looking to save some money. Miami has been a spot to use against lefties, so I don't hate it. Anybody any interest in a Tyler Wells against Detroit?
Nope.
Okay.
They were using him as like an opener, and then he just pitched so well that they just kept him in the game and in that Washington game. Because it was supposed to be like Wells followed by Austin Voth, and then he just
you're using Wells like this right now just for innings caps, right?
Right.
Because he was pitching really well for a bit there.
Yeah. No, he's pitched well this year. I mean, sub 4 ERA, it's pretty good. So 229 batting average against. Been pretty good year, but 50 pitches, like there's no. I think Wade Miley's probably as far down as we need to go.
Okay. I will say this, again, you're talking about guys coming back from injury. That's kind of his deal here as well. 2 starts since coming back from injury, 34, 50 pitches. So Again, what do they bump him up to? They bump him up to 70 this time, maybe, if they continue to throw him out there.
Good point.
But it is Detroit, so you never know. We're not pitching anybody in Coors. Not going to go Abbott against Atlanta. And we're definitely not playing Alexander.
No.
We're stacking against Alexander today.
Yep.
Lefty versus Baltimore. So,
All
right, catcher position. Talking lefty versus Baltimore, we have Adley Rutschman, $5,100. We know the power is there, 875 OPS last 10 games. W.D. Smith, talking about just that matchup for Merrill Kelly against the Dodgers this year. Everybody's just smacking him around. I know Smith's recent numbers haven't been great, but he does have 2 home runs. So if you want to spend up, those guys are all perfectly fine. You have your Coors Field exposure, as we've discussed. Darno or Contreras, whichever one is in the lineup against Abbott, I think we're fine there. Darno 4K, certainly the bit more appealing matchup for him there. Let's see. Maybe if Betancourt's in the lineup. He'll never be in the lineup if we want him in the lineup, though. But
never.
If he is
Literally
there,
never. But he doesn't stop hitting. Why doesn't he play more? All he's doing is hitting right now.
He fits. He is exactly. You know why? He hits too many home runs. That's the problem. He has too much power for the Rays lineup.
True. True. They should trade him.
They're like, wait, how many home runs does he have in the last 10 games? 2? You're on the bench. Yandy Diaz, get out there. Hit doubles, please. Thank you. So, yeah, listen. If he's in there, 2,900, I'm not afraid of Luis Garcia. So, that's my catcher likes. Anybody for you?
Coors Field in general.
Sure.
I know none of these catchers are like overly appealing, but Joey Bart has power in Coors. That's I think that's fine. That's probably it. Yan Gomes has been really good lately.
Yeah. Even against righties, Yan Gomes has been good.
Even against righties, Yan Gomes just out here just being good at baseball. But other than that, no, I don't see anything. Will Smith, just for context, and this is everyone, by the way, against Merrill Kelly.
Yeah.
Like every single player has good BVP. It's just crazy to look at. 7 for 19 for Will Smith with a home run. So that's just so you know, literally the top 7 hitters are batting over
17 runs on him in 18 innings this year. So
they're all 7 of the 9 projected hitters are hitting 350 or better against.
Who's got the most power against Kelly?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts. Good to know. The likely second base eligible Mookie Betts? It is second base eligible Mookie Betts. All right. First base position. Freddie Freeman's at the top, 5,600. What do we got? What's his BVP?
BVP is 6 for 14 with a home run.
There you go. CJ Cron in Coors against a righty, 5,500. We're never paying that price for Patrick Wisdom. Just stop showing it to me.
Ever.
Medices, as you mentioned, if you like going there, if you want to believe in the numbers for him, 5K against Kyle Wright. Matt Olson against Abbott's at 47.
He's been so bad.
2
for his last 38.
Yeah, I know.
Holy.
I know. Not power numbers have been there, but everything else has been down. Christian Walker versus Clayton Kershaw. Not really a spot we're gonna test out today. Mountcastle is dealing with a triceps injury, so we'll see if he plays. If not, Aguilar versus the lefty could be be an interesting pivot play off of our boy here. Usually a spot we like Nelson Aguilar in. They gave Mancini first base eligibility back. I don't think we're gonna go there against Rasmussen though. Luke Voigt, as we mentioned, 3,100. I mean, he's hitting 410. Just out here playing baseball.
He's out here playing baseball. Him and Garrett Cooper are probably the 2 top, and Aguilar. Those are probably the 3 value plays that I would take a look at, because Garrett Cooper has been really good too.
Mm-hmm. Good power from Cooper. Let's see. Aranda homered the other day.
Yeah, he's a good little player, huh?
Yeah.
A good little player. Does he still have first and second?
He does.
He does, right?
Yep. So we'll see if he's in the lineup or not there. I feel like he got a little bit of start there. Where is he 2K? Where am I missing him?
Who are we looking for?
Aguilar, 2,400. So
yeah, 2,400.
Homered the other day, 2 for 5 and a homer, 2 RBIs, 2 hits again against on the 14th. So
yes, that was yesterday.
Yeah. So recent production for him, most recent production, 2 of the last 3 games, 2 hits. Last 10 numbers not great. Don't really pay attention to those, but good spot against Alexander for Aguilar. Should hit in the middle of that lineup. Second base, Mookie Betts is at $6,100. We've talked about his elite numbers against Kelly. Struggling overall last 10, but again, matchup-wise, dictates probably a good stack if you can get there. Altuve's at 59. Birdie with the lefty on the mound. You got McMahon, a lefty in Coors, probably a pretty popular play against Junis here. Ozzie Albies, how you doing? Back on the IL, super quick.
Poor guy, dude.
Breaks a finger, back on the IL. Nothing you can do about that one. Anybody else in the mid-tier for you?
Maybe Thairo Estrada, just because Coors, but
Grissom at 37.
Wow, that's getting a little pricey here, huh?
Yeah, last two slates, 37-38. So they're catching on. He's a good player.
Yeah, I think Grissom, Gavin Lux, probably like the two guys in this tier, just given how successul they've been against Merrill Kelly.
Yep. Maybe would you play? I know he's been struggling, but Ramon Urias against.
Yeah, sure.
If he's in that lineup, we're all in on the O's. I'm probably gonna still mention everyone, but we're playing all of them. So, that's probably it for me with second baseman.
Yeah, I was looking down the list. That's it for me too.
Okay. Third base, Riley against Abbott. Is at 55. Again, another big power hitter struggling for Atlanta. Bregman gets Rasmussen. Better matchup for Bregman versus righty, but we don't really want to run up against Rasmussen. I wouldn't assume so. Max Muncy. What do we got for Muncy against old Merrill Kelly?
He is 10 for 23, so 435 average with a home run.
He's got 4 homers his last 10 days, hitting 350 with 1,100 OPS. So super expensive. Justin Turner, slightly cheaper at 47. Justin Turner against Merrill Kelly is hitting what?
9 for 23, 391. So, just another,
They all, like you said, they all have good BVP lines.
Every single one of them.
Let's see. Does Escobar stay hot against Corbin Burns?
He could. I mean, Corbin Burns giving up a lot of power, so it's possible. I don't think no BVP to note here. Let's see. Corbin Burns has been, still pretty good against everybody. No distinct better numbers for either side of the plate, but does give up the occasional home run. So,
we played Gunnar Henderson against a lefty last time, and nobody else played him, and then they knocked out that lefty early. It was Corbin, right?
Yeah.
And then he had a monster game for us.
Uh-huh.
I have no problem going 3,400 for Gunnar Henderson against a lefty. The kid is very good.
Yeah, he's just extremely talented. There's a reason why he was a top 3 prospect in baseball at the time of his, call up. And before this offer, which he still walked twice, so still didn't give you a dud. Just look through his logs. Twice this year, John, he hasn't accrued one fin. Actually, once. Only once in his 17 games has he not accrued a fantasy point. That's so safe, and there's upside because he's fast.
He's got power and speed for Henderson. So.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm a big Gunnar Henderson guy. Probably a core part of our lineups today. Shortstop. How do you like the top tier guys? Lindor, obviously Trey Turner, which I imagine also has elite numbers against Merrill Kelly. Swanson, Adames, Franco back in the lineup. Pena. Where are we going in this shortstop position?
Trey hitting 438. No big deal against Merrill Kelly.
We might have to play Wade Miley just to fit in these.
Just to get the Dodgers. Yeah. I like Lindor, but I probably prefer Turner just given what this whole lineup just does to Merrill Kelly. He sees ghosts. He sees the Babadook. That's the Dodgers lineup to him. Probably not going to go Dansby. I guess the Braves probably checking a little contrarian here, just with their struggles.
All of a sudden, their whole lineup isn't really hitting well. So,
and then so I think Turner, Lindor, Swanson for above 5K, and then under 5K. I don't like this mid tier. Who's your mid tier play? Javi Baez, who's been kind of good lately.
Trejo in Coors.
Trejo in Coors is good. He's hitting.
Probably
he has a little pop too.
But
Brandon Crawford.
Other than that, it's probably going back to Baltimore, right? You can play Henderson in short. You can play Mateo. Mateo homered that day we stacked against, and neither of us played him. He was
for the first time all year.
The 9-hitter homer for Mateo there. So
yeah, him. I would say B-Craw at the same price too in Colorado.
Miguel Rojas against a lefty. He's hitting 321 the last 10 games, 2,300.
Yeah, as long as if you're not playing Wade Miley.
Yeah, as long as you're not playing Wade Miley. He's his numbers probably aren't as good against lefties as they were like 5 years ago when we were playing him, but those were the days. All right, outfield. Jordan homered 3 times a couple days ago.
And then homered the next day.
And then homered the next day. Homered 2 days before that. Yesterday, no home runs, but 2 doubles and 4 RBI still. So the man is on another one. If it wasn't for what Aaron Judge is doing, everybody would be like, maybe Jordan wins an MVP, but he's 30 home runs behind Aaron Judge at the moment. And he's hit 30 himself. So, 35 home runs. So what's the guy supposed to do there? 301, 35, 90, and 1,000 OPS would be an MVP player any day of the week.
Dude, he's going to be third. And he's going to finish third.
Yeah, except for 2022. So, if you want to pay 63, if you can fit him in, sure. Super expensive there. Sedmol against the lefty, 5,500. He's been hitting better, but that's a big price tag for Mullins here against the lefty. Jock Jams in Coors Field against Chad Kuhl. I know that his recent production's been poor, but again, we're just talking power upside, and he's obviously Coors Field helps that a little bit as well. Let's see.
Sorry for that plane. That plane just going right over my head right there.
What?
That's good. You didn't hear the plane? That's great. Great news.
No, I didn't hear anything.
I'm in a new location, obviously, so very high, and the plane was basically just over the roof.
I live 15 minutes away from Logan Airport, so we talk about airplanes over my house all the time.
This is true.
Not a big deal. Santander struggling of late, just 140 his last 10, but he does have the lefty spot there.
He's been better. Yeah, he's definitely been better against lefties this year, especially in the power department. So 9 of his home runs, 384 WOBA against left-handed pitching.
One of the few Braves hitting right now, Michael Harris, 289, 895 OPS last 10. If you want to go in that direction, it may be a mini stack of Harris and Grissom. We've talked about that one quite a few times this year. Grissom was obviously a little bit more affordable at times, so was Harris. Now they're both getting a little bit of a bump in price tag, so just remember that as you're building out your lineups. Riley Green's up to $4,200. And again, not great recent production, but it depends what you think of Wells.
Right.
Anybody else in the mid tier that is really jumping out to you here?
Nope, nobody. I mean, of course, Yastrzemski's 4K. I think he's going to be popular, but he's kind of been bad all year. So.
Who's better, Jake McCarthy or Clayton Kershaw?
It's not even really a question. Jake McCarthy is infinitely better.
Yeah, 375, 944 OPS, a homer and 3 steals last 10. We're not going to play him because we're going to play Clayton, but I mean, we do love ourselves from Jake McCarthy. Chris Taylor, 3,500. That's probably your cheap exposure to the Dodgers lineup if he's playing today.
He's really the only one who hasn't been successful against
not hitting him.
He's 260. That's
what's Cody Bellinger against him?
He's hitting 250, but he's hit 2 bombs, 364 WOBA. So where he lacks in average, he hits home runs.
Sure. Let's see. Gallo's 3,300. I don't think we can ever really play Joe Gallo, but
Baltimore might lead Austin Hayes off here.
Dude, I was gonna say, I know we talked about Austin Hayes struggling last time out, which was true. 3,100 though. I don't hate that at all.
They've let him off against lefties the last few times they faced southpaws, and Tyler Alexander against righties, 850 OPS, 360 WOBA. So
you mentioned Lane Thomas homered yesterday, 311 average, 800 OPS. Better numbers against lefties than righties, but also way better hitting on the road this season as well. So 315 road average versus a 183 home average.
Josh Donaldson 2.0, huh?
Yeah, basically. Anytime he was facing a lefty on the road, I would always write him up. I'm like, his lefty road splits this year. He's hitting 335 with a 950 OPS. The guy is, Mike Trout on the road. And then he would never come third. I was like, damn it, those small sample size, whatever. So they're all there. But we definitely like Thomas if you're going against Wright, which maybe we are. Maybe we're gonna go contrarian today and go against Kyle.
Maybe
possible. Jonathan Diaz will never hit for power, but it is a Coors Field slate. Anderson gets Miley 2,900. Anything else here for you? Did they call Sanchez back up? Nope, he's still in the minors.
I hate the value tier. Trying to
Corbin Carroll gets the lefty. Not going to do that.
Yeah, Stone Garrett leads off probably. But
Chris Thompson just has power of late.
Yeah, if he's in the lineup, I'd play him. They hit him like in the middle of their lineup for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. It's bad. It's bleak down here.
Give me your home run call then.
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
All of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay.
No, I'll take. Let's see. Who should I go with, John? What Dodger are you going with?
I'm not going to go with a Dodger. I'm going to go against it.
Well, I will go. I'm going to go Freddie Freeman. The non-power hitting Freddie Freeman is going to take Merrill Kelly deep here.
Okay. That kind of kills me because I was going to go first base.
Okay, then I will go Mookie Betts.
Okay.
It's easy. I'll just pivot to Mookie.
I'm going to go Luke Voigt.
That's a good. I mean, that's a great one.
That's where I was considering. So, all right, let's build our lineups then. Kershaw.
And then I think you and I are probably in on either Cabrera or Miley. It's one of those.
Let's see if we can build it with Cabrera for strikeout upside, and if we need the money, we'll go to Miley. Work?
Agreed.
Okay. Catcher spot.
Well, we're gonna play Luke Voigt at first.
Yeah.
And we're gonna play Mookie. I would say in the outfield because we can get Grissom or Gunnar Henderson at second.
Yep.
Right? Do we want to play Mookie in the outfield?
Yeah, I think so.
3,900.
Yep. We'll play Henderson at second because where is he?
He's at third. I mean, oof.
Henderson is second or third eligibility?
No, it's third and short.
Yeah. Okay. So
short.
Okay, let's play. Yeah, that is tough actually.
We could play him at short because we might want to go like Muncy or Justin Turner.
So I was gonna say, did you not want to play Trey Turner?
We could. Any of those? Is there a wrong answer with any of those three guys? Like they're all on fire and.
Yeah, so we'll go Gunnar and we'll go Grissom at second. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Save a little bit of money. What was our catcher play? Do we have a speed to spend down a catcher? Betancourt? We'll just cross our fingers and hope he's in the lineup today.
And we'll provide a pivot if he's not in the YouTube channel.
Okay. So we got 4K for 2 outfielders.
With Trey at shortstop?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Still with 4K, huh?
We'll go Lane Thomas if we're going a mini stack with Voigt, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's top of the order.
It's a $5,100 final outfield piece.
So the Cabrera build worked perfectly then. So we're full fading Coors, by the way.
Yeah.
Unless we go Charlie Blackmon here, but he's been a corpse.
I'm thinking maybe he'll give us some contrarianness to it.
Oh, definitely.
We can play Harris, do the Harris Grissom mini stack against Abbott.
Yep, let's run that.
And that's Cabrera. If we wanted to obviously go to Miley instead, it gives us a little bit more cash.
Or Kyle Tucker in the outfield.
It gives us a 6K outfielder. Not that we really need a 6K outfielder because we don't really like much that's there. So there's no judge on this slate. So where do you spend $6,000, right? So we can't get to Jordan. So even if we stayed with Harris, what would we do with 6K? I don't even know what we would do with all that extra money. So there it is. We're just gonna go Cabrera. We're just gonna play Cabrera. Fits the bill. $300. Clayton Kershaw, Edward Cabrera at pitcher, Christian Betancourt, Luke Voigt, Vaughn Grisham at first, second, and third. Catcher, first and second. Gunnar Henderson, Trey Turner, Mookie Betts in the third, short, and outfield, and Lane Thomas and Michael Harris finishing off the outfield there. So we have a mini game stack of Washington, Atlanta. We have a 2-man stack of Dodgers versus Merrill Kelly. We have a one-off play of Gunnar Henderson. How you feeling about it?
Love it.
Love it? Sounds good.
Love it.
That's the lineup for today, folks. James on the playbook will be in the Discord. If you have any questions, hit us up, and we will catch you guys later.